Perhaps no one saga has wrung the hearts of fair maidens and pink cheeked Lotharios like that of the fateful day at the Crest Corral. Boot Hill is filled with the bones of those hardy men loyal to the Crests who fell as a result of the many years of range war against the Crest spread by those desperados without par, the Boyle Boys. Plying their nefarious ways, the Boyles changed the peaceful countryside into a constant turmoil, shooting and rooting their way through spread after spread, growing more powerful day after day. On the fateful day of the great range battle, the Boyles hired a new slinger called Tonato, the front runner kid. His specialty was speed in a turn draw. In amazement, they sat fascinated as the kid showed his speed, driving a slug dead center between the eyes of a picture of the Crest foreman, which hung with other riddled pictures on the wall of their shack. Meanwhile, back at the Crest Corral, all is peaceful and serene, a typical picture of happy, carefree existence for the head of the spread and his hired hands. Our good neighbors, they muse, our loyal friends will never let us down. No, sir, not never. But our friends reason without facts, for the Boyle brothers have taken over one spread after another, either wiping out their competition with their usual incursive raids, or by means of their wiles luring the others to join up with their gang, or by watching for newcomers to the territory and winning them over to working for their side of the fight, or by just letting time take its toll naturally and then going out after the sons and daughters of the lately deceased owners, or recruiting miners who are new to the area, as well as the lowest of the low, sheep herders. For the Boyle brothers were nobody's fools. They knew the way of attrition, of encroachment, and of convincing either at the end of a six-gun, or through the honeyed words and promises of the glib-tongued young'uns. So it was inevitable that one day there would be a great showdown at the Crest Corral as the Boyles with their friends moved in to take over. Confident that they still could count on their friends, the Crest hands set out for help, for trouble sure seemed to be boiling over. And that, my dear friends, is where we're going to leave this fearful scene, for unless we were to draw the curtain right now, you would see the shock and amazement as Crest hired hands discovered that they had lost practically all their old friends. All of which brings us to today and the corral of the Boyle boys filled with 166,000 head, which could have been the property of the Cadillac spread. For they are people with incomes in excess of $20,000 who have been roped in by the Boyles. For Buick, Oldsmobile, Imperial, and Lincoln have actually taken away from our dealerships, one by one, over 166,000 prime high-price car owners and led them down a primrose path of ownership in the motor cars they sell. While back at our dealerships, banking on the loyalty of our owners and overlooking the attrition of time, of competitive action, of new people moving into our towns, of changes in industrial complexions of our local areas, many of us have allowed competition not only to spike our guns, but to soft-talk valued owners and prospects away from the Cadillac spread. So the question now is, what are we going to do to show these Boyles who's really top hand in the marketplace? Because as we all know, every time one of our owners leaves us for a Boyle deal, it actually hurts our dealership, our service, parts, used car, and new car departments, and of course, those of us who are new car salesmen. So it behooves each of us to sharpen up our competitive selling activity and to take action, to give a long, searching look at those prospects and owners that should become new Cadillac owners or repeat owners. For example, those prospects we sometimes don't even suspect could be Cadillac owners, people who are driving another make car, people whose names don't show up on club rosters, but who do have enough money to buy and own Cadillac. What about the young ones who are the sons and daughters of our present owners? Are we doing anything to convince them that they should ride with us? Then there are the owners of Cadillac or competitive makes whom we contacted earlier in the model year. folks who promised to be back. Let's not leave them to chance. Let's go out and get 'em back, because now, more than ever, we can do business with them. There are our regular owners, those whom we've always been able to count on. When did we last see them? Call on them. Ask them how they liked their Cadillacs and if there was anything they would like to have checked or serviced by us. Then there are the people that aren't even suspect yet. People who have either moved up in the scheme of things, who have made new money, or who work for new industrial activity that has moved into our local area. Whether we like it or not, our competitors are doing these things right now, day after day. They're out to bring 'em in by means of one trick or another, and we, as Cadillac salesmen, are the only ones who can stop 'em. So let's buckle on our belts and give a good hard tug. Let's face up to the challenge that is ours today, years after the fateful day at the Crest Corral. Let's go out after those be-backs and bring 'em in. Let's talk with our real estate man and discover who has moved into town with money, or who has come into money and is moving up. Let's make certain we contact every one of our owners and do it on a day-to-day basis. For unless we do, unless we carry the fight to the Boyle boys, they surely will carry it to us. And we all know they're in there trying every hour of the day. One by one, a few at a time, the Boyles are daily and constantly chipping away at us, demonstrating, proving the performance of their motor cars, convincing them and upsetting their loyalty to us, loyalty that should really be ours without question. For the one way the Boyles can be had is to take these same people in hand and show them the Cadillac way. We all know that it is without any question the best way. The only unanswered fact is, when and how will we tell our owners and prospects these things? It's really up to us, you know.